Oh,
Do you think you can breathe from your butthole?
I know you can breathe out through your butthole if you put cocaine in it.
I've seen a girl hit a blunt through her butthole
Yeah,
on the internet. This was
that's.
like 10 years ago.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah,
she was the first of her kind, huh?
it was crazy. And like the dude put the blunt to her butthole, which I must say, by the way, it was a nice looking butthole. It was a nice looking butthole,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like you could see it kind of like seal up around, and the blunt kind of like you could see the ember kind of go a little. Oh shit! And
No.
then the blunt, I swear to God, and then it came out, and then it was just like a little smoke, like puff of smoke. She did rings and hearts and shit. I'm just kidding.
No.
No, she didn't do the rings, but I swear to God, but there
Just
was
like
it was like puff smoke coming out. I was like, oh my God,
just
that's insane.
just
It really
like
happened.
for some reason my brain just went right to Gandalf blowing the smoke ring. Oh,
He's like, you know
a stripper is never early nor late.
that's Gandalf's favorite parlor trick, having strippers blow rings, hobbit shapes out of their butthole. He's like putting the pipe. He's like putting the pipe up.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another episode of the Bush League podcast. My name is Jordan Ward,
Big Mike.
and today we have a very, very special guest. His name, Dan Mazzucca. Dan, thanks for coming on, dude.
Just so everyone knows, they fucked up the first intro and just restarted and act like nothing happened.
This motherfucker. Now we gotta start.
Happy to be here.
This episode is just gonna be just an hour-long clip of us just restarting the show.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna do an intro song.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
just kidding.
Anyways, Dan, what's going on, man? How you been? How you doing?
What's up, gentlemen?
You sound a little hoarse.
Yeah, I sound. The voice is rough right now. I sound like a waitress at the Paper Tiger.
Okay.
Yeah, it's bad. What can I get you, honey? It's rough, man. It's my throat hurts, but we're in business, you know. It's
Okay.
good to see you, gentlemen.
It's good to see you. And speaking of business, man, we're just gonna like dive right in. I just like to ask questions. How'd you get started getting in comedy?
God, just right into this. How did I get started, and what do you mean? What's the first thing I did?
Like
Or
what's
when did I know I wanted to attempt it?
most people kind of pick up. I will say I've got a case of I can't talk today, so this is gonna be great
No,
for,
Dan,
for
just
us.
give us a little bit of your backstory,
Yeah,
man.
give me-
Where are you
tell-
from? Who you are? You know,
break
a
the
little,
ice,
just
you
give us,
know?
let the people know
Spell your
who
name.
Dan Mazzucca, the big bazooka, is.
All right, nobody calls me that.
Nope.
Number one.
Not yet. Not yet. I like that.
We ain't starting nicknames today. Yeah, so I have done other things up until I just started comedy 2 years ago. And when I started comedy, I decided to go straight to the source. I've been a fan of comedy for a long time, and I paid attention. I listened. How did this dude make it? How did this dude make it? What did Jesus Trejo do? What did And a lot of them started at a comedy club. So I was like, all right, well, that's what I'm gonna do. I switched whole careers up, and I switched. I got out of a career.
What was that career?
I was a chemist in. It was a mixture of everything. It was oil field, coal fired power plants. Just traveled around with a company.
It was a real job.
Yeah, it was grown up work, and I hated it. You know, I was always looking for like a boiler to jump off. They're like 14 stories high. It was rough. So when I quit that, I didn't know what I was gonna start doing, but I was like, I'm gonna start building this brand. I'm gonna start something here. You know, I've been working on stuff for like the last 16, 17, 18 years since high school. I've had projects in various completion, comic books, scripts, raps, albums, novellas, there's all kinds of shit I want to do. And so I was like, okay, well, the singularity between all that is writing. So I was like, what can I do now that I'm getting out of, like, I'm losing a paycheck? And what can I do now that even if I got to start at the bottom of something, how can I use all that skill? And it was all writing. So I was like, well, comedy was right there in front of me the whole time. I've been a fan of comedy for a really long time. So I was like, let's strike comedy. It's like when a white guy can't play an instrument, so they rap. It's like I couldn't sell a script. So I'm like, all right, well, let me sell 5 minutes of a live script on stage, sort of thing. Let me baby steps in everything, but use everything in conjunction with each other. I don't have many skills. It's like I know how to do a lot of stuff, and I did a lot of like the grown up shit, but the whole time I hated it. I don't want to use a pipe wrench. I don't want to know the differences between tools, and I'm not trying to do all that shit for 14 hours a day. So
I don't want to be a man.
yeah, no, I want to go the easy route, which in turn is always the hardest route, because you're like, well, you got to make something out of nothing in this career, and try to do everything the right way. So when I switched gears, it was a big deal for me because I had spent like 14 years thinking I was going to be in music and was dedicated to being in music, even though I had nothing to do with the music industry. I had, I was ghostwriting a little bit of songs for people. I had been in a group for a long time with some friends of mine, and my plan was like, oh, cool, well, even if I'm not releasing music, I could be writing other people that are releasing music, and I could still be doing the exact same thing I want to do.
How much music did you write?
For myself?
In general, yeah, yourself,
Oh,
for other
14
people.
plus years worth of it.
Two
I'm telling
songs.
you, there's discographies that I still feel like one day I'm just going to J. Cole everybody. You know what I mean by that? Meaning like when I have the money by whatever means I got it by, that I could build a studio and do it at my pace, I'll J. Cole everybody, meaning like I don't need a co-signer. I'm not really putting it out there to get money off it. I've already like established myself. So at that point I'm just like doing it for the love of the game, which is what I always did it for. But you do it with the naiveness like, oh, I'm about to be somebody. When you start writing good anything, you know the worth of your shit and you're like, oh man, I'll put everyone to sleep, like, or you'll same thing with a joke, whatever medium you're writing. Brandon Patrick thought he had it with his book. You know what I mean? He comes out with a book. It's a good book. I bought the book. Driving myself crazy. Go buy that shit. But he's proud of that. Right now he probably thinks he's fucking Clive Cussler. Nobody can touch him. He looks at people at Starbucks on their laptop like, bitch, I've been there, done that. Like I got a book. I'm a fucking respected author. It's that sort of confidence you get once you start mastering your craft. But then there's a whole business side to it. So whereas like I feel like, oh yeah, I could write a good rap. I'm not my own A&R or I didn't learn none of the other bullshit. So I didn't want to. It's like an industry that I never wanted to. I wanted to be a part of so badly, but not associate with or represent. I don't like rappers, dude. I've met I ran around. I knew a lot of Denver rappers, neighborhood rappers, kids we grew up with that also rapped. And you got to respect everybody that's in the game and everybody that's doing it, But I never wanted to be that. I just wanted to go do shows, live shows. I want to be an MC, But an MC is a master of ceremonies. An MC just moves the crowd. An MC don't matter if you're rapping, if you're giving a speech, if like Obama was an MC. That dude
I heard
delivered a
some of
good
his
fucking
beats in
speech.
college, man.
Yeah. His mixtape was pretty hot, man.
No ceilings.
Yeah. So I'm just for it, that's where I came from. I was a big fan of comedy and I was like, I have all these skills doing other shit. Let me see how quickly I could get some money off comedy, which to anybody listening that knows about comedy or like a 5, 6, 7, 10, 20-year comic, they're like, this kid's an idiot. thinking you could get into comedy to get anywhere faster than anywhere else. But it's like, you also hear my voice, you know. It usually ain't this fucked up, but it ain't what it was when I was writing. When I was trying to become a rapper, and like I said, that's loosely saying trying to become. I wasn't trying to become. I was just writing raps. But like I was writing them efficiently, and I had a better voice. And then I did do fucking 9 years in the oil field and around coal dust and all the bullshit and the acids and the, you know, not wearing the PPE I should have been wearing. So like
somebody working for OSHA right now is just losing their fucking minds.
OSHA ain't doing nothing until something happens, bro. OSHA ain't relevant in any workspace. I was at I'm not even gonna say it because I love this place, and I might start a podcast there. But there's a lot of construction going on at this very public place.
Oh yeah,
and they're wearing fucking, you know, flat billed hats. Like, I'm surprised they weren't in flip flops. The no safety equipment, jackhammering shit. I'm like, it's some
right next to kids
some
too.
third party fucking construction companies, but
Where at?
it was a little bit of a side tangent there.
Yeah, what we were talking about earlier, his podcast idea.
Yeah,
Have you haven't been, have you? Recently,
you look
to
like
that
you
area.
belong in one. I'll put it that way.
I see the low hanging fruit. I'm gonna avoid it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna avoid it this time. Now, are you born and raised? Are you an actual native of?
I ain't
Colorado?
a native. I'm learning now that that's bullshit to be saying. Ever since I met Josh Emerson. So no, I grew up here. Yeah. This is where I was purchased and grew up.
Nice.
You know,
Where does one purchase a Mazzucca?
Yeah.
Colorado Child Protective Services.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They,
Your own,
you know, you gotta drop a little. I think I was $50.
That's a good investment.
Yeah, it's like an eighth in 2006.
For the people who don't know, well, Dan is an adopted.
He's an adopted. We're just gonna
I'm an
say
adopted. Yeah, you know, they be classifying us all the time.
of all the people.
Nobody
right?
speaks for the.
Talk about self-awareness.
First thing Dan said when he met me was, "What's up, my brother?" I was like, "What?" He says, "Cool, I'm adopted." I was like, "All right, that's good, my nigga."
Oh, so you hand out the A-word cards all the time? You're like, Mike, you definitely get one.
Yeah, Mike can be adopted.
No, then he found out that I grew up with my father.
And he's like, "Give that back. Fuck that."
Yeah,
This is,
I had.
what kind of universe is this?
I got adopted by good folks. I had a good dad
Good.
and a good mom coming up, and then I had a lot of street parents. I had a lot of families that took me in too. You know, so I came up with a lot of love in my neighborhood.
What neighborhood were you?
Sunset Ridge. That's what it's called. It's 94th and Lowell. It's up in Westminster, but it's like that neighborhood is blocked in by Federal and kind of Sheridan, but really the golf course.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Suburbs.
The burbs.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the suburbs right now just because this is the west side. I haven't been over here in a long time.
It's
It's less city,
you know,
more suburbs.
as a native myself, I've lived here for 4 years. It's definitely changed a lot. Did you know the guy who made that native bumper sticker isn't actually like born in Colorado?
Makes sense.
Yeah, he just owns a printing company.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to make some money.
He's like, people have this weird pride of where their parents fucked. And,
I don't think it was Trump making all them hats.
I don't know about that. He's a
Somebody
go-getter.
making money off that.
He is a go-getter.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Oh, you're not? I had no idea.
Nah, I just look like this.
Yeah, me too.
Sucks.
We gotta get our cameras.
It sucks being in the struggle, don't it, Mike?
What?
Looking like this.
Oh, right. Not being able to be on camera.
No.
Oh.
What?
I
Why
look
don't
good.
why don't you
I
have
look good.
cameras?
'Cause
Did you blow the budget on this couch?
Yeah. Yeah, the couch is. We blew the budget on the cleaning of the couch.
It's like
Don't be talking shit on our baby doodoo brown.
It's
Yeah.
like a couch you see in the alleyway off Fifth and Grant,
No, those couches are nicer.
where you look at it and you're like, dude, I would take it, but I just don't know if it got bugs or not.
You
Well,
know it's got bugs.
Yeah.
You know it's got bugs.
It sits there forever.
No, I found a good deal. I'm just lazy. Haven't pulled the trigger yet. So.
Oh, shit, let's get
And
our-
also, I was looking into it, and man, video editing is gonna be a bitch. So I gotta
Whatever.
find somebody.
Get a
to-
team.
I'll
Oh,
do it.
yeah.
I'll learn. I'll do it.
Okay.
I swear, for real.
And
I want to get into it.
Who does your editing of this? Sound
Jordan.
editing.
Yours
Sound
truly.
editing.
Yeah.
You know?
So those wonderful, beautiful moments you hear with the laughter just breaking your AirPods, I turn it up extra hard for that.
Nice.
Well, speaking of laughter,
I've listened to every episode.
You have? What are your thoughts so far?
I like
Thank
it.
you.
I think you guys did.
That's
You could have
genuine.
put maybe
I
one
appreciate
more
that.
in there, just the two of you, before you started bringing everybody in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're going in tomorrow again, or
Yeah.
later this week to.
Stack up enough of those
Yep.
solos so they know, who to blame.
Hmm.
Don't just
Yeah, the downfall.
you can't have 15 comics on every episode. They don't know who to cancel. You got to make sure they know it's your podcast and we're just guests.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we take the blame for what you guys say.
No,
no,
maybe Grayson. Grayson dropping some.
Whoa. So,
Yeah,
Grayson is funny.
he
Yeah,
is.
he is.
I like the way he, dug up Beaver's mom.
Bro, that's...
Yeah. Beaver's for that, too. That's the creepiest part.
Oh yeah, you should have seen his face. Partly why we don't have cameras because he was like, he like crossed his legs and was like sweating and like touching himself. a
Who,
little
Beaver?
bit. Oh yeah, he's like, go more.
Hey.
Hey guys.
I like
Oh
Josh
my
Beaver.
God. All right, so Dan, you in comedy, all right. So you were a chemist. You had done music. You've been writing for years, and then you decided that you wanted to leave your job and check and so
Comedy's not what I
was-
did first.
Yeah. Okay.
I chilled, and then I did the unemployment shit.
Okay.
I had never done it, so it felt like I was like, hey, this is cool. This is what people be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for as long as they'd let me. And then I played Call of Duty. I was like, at that time I was streaming.
Hell,
I was streaming on unemployment because it was 2020. I was like,
Okay.
this is tight.
What
You
month
know,
in
I
2020?
cashed all of them.
Oh. He said before pandemic.
I straight cashed my 401k to buy all the shit to stream. And because they weren't charging you to cash that 401k in 2020. I was like, that's a once in a lifetime. That's like a super moon or whatever. I was like, you got to take advantage of that, and just sit on the shoebox money, if anything, because then you don't have to wait till you're old to pull it out. But I spent it in 2 months like fucking Waka Flocka or something.
oh hell yeah.
I couldn't help myself.
This
Bad
pandemic.
with money, fiscally irresponsible all the time. But better now, way better now. But I left the job on the road, and I stayed home. I streamed up until Twitch paid me my first paycheck. So I got all the way up until that, which is, I was proud of myself. That shit it's also a grind, but it's like it's entirely different. The only thing that's the same is you got to network your ass off to become an affiliated partner of Twitch, and you gotta network your ass off, and you gotta support each other in that community. Like, it's all streamers helping streamers come up. And I didn't like doing it to the extent you gotta learn everything. Like, comedy seems like the only thing you gotta learn is the audience and yourself. Everything else, like streaming, you gotta learn the broadcasting system. OBS is what I was using. You gotta learn all the little, you basically have to know how to code if you really want to be able to like have your own show.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I wanted my own show. Like, I wanted a space that was creative and cool. I wanted to be able to do interview style, and I wanted everything to be clean cut, like the news, those transitions, like I wanted to put my name on something nice, but unless you pay somebody to put all that together for you, it takes every available minute you got you're learning. You're watching YouTube videos. Why is my scene crashing on OBS? Why is my computer memory not toughing this out? I'm not technological. I don't like that stuff, and I can't commit to it long enough to pull off like the performance part. So I'm consistently looking for performance that has less effort and less technical, less work that and comedy is that.
Yeah.
Comedy is you're only in competition and trying to outlearn your previous set.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
I don't have to read a manual. Everything I absorb comedy-wise is beneficial unless I'm over-absorbing. You don't want to sound like nobody. You don't want to be like biting nobody's material or subconsciously. I always freak out about that. I used to freak out about it with raps. You don't want to subconsciously hear somebody's shit, and that's funny, that premise, and 4 weeks later it shows up murky, but in a joke of yours.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, oh, that's fucking weird. And you can hear it. If you hit all them open mics, you can hear other comics that you don't even like talk to or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You can hear them picking up other people's styles and shit.
It's kind of weird, like a contagion to kind of like think about, because somebody will have, I mean, obviously school shooter jokes are all the rage these days, but somebody will have like a funny take on it, and then, there's 12 other comedians at different areas, like at the same time, just saying something similar, and it's just like, maybe I'm not as original as I thought.
Yeah, you also got to understand it's like the atmosphere of hack that we have to like write. Your writing is like the fuel to you, the vessel that's got to like break through that. And it's like there is a crust of it that you have to get through. I realize this. I've been looking at all my like jokes from like the first 6 months, and they're very hacky. Like they're almost like dad joke aesthetic. And you have to write that cheesy, corny shit to identify it as cheesy, corny shit and move forward and raise the bar. You can't ignore it and just, how do I want to say that? It's just, there's this atmosphere that everybody's going to sound the same anyways for the first couple years, because you don't have your own voice, so you really are just grabbing off of everybody. You're like, this dude inspires me, I want to sound like David Tell, or I want to write a joke like, even if it's like local to the scene, you're like, JJ Billingsley's a killer. I like the way he does this. I'm going to start doing jokes like this. It's murky waters right now until you find your own voice. Once you find your own lane, when you find your own lane, you're all of a sudden outside of their ether, or their whole atmosphere. But you could stay stuck in that atmosphere forever if you stay with the hack. If you realize, like, if you never try to raise the bar and try to sound different and not talk about what everybody's talking about, you're never going to stand out. You're always going to be writing abortion jokes, which are awful. Any dude writing an abortion joke that's not writing it from the perception of the man, that's dumb. I think it's just too risky, and it's hack. Anybody writing like the school shooting jokes, it's hack. All that easy laugh stuff, it's all hack. And the nice thing is, when I started comedy, I rolled around with Tyree Dillard, and he told me like, hey, it's easy to skip steps. He's like, don't write a joke about that if like the molestation jokes, priest jokes, those always get a laugh because it's in a bar. But he's like, I had a joke like that. He's like, were you molested by a priest? And I was like, no. And he goes, then stop telling that joke. And for some reason, it all made sense to me. I was like, oh, you're really forcing all that hacky material. But, sometimes it pays off. But if you just avoid it right away, like the plague, and try to write above it from the start, you're not going to get caught up in there. I don't have any jokes on those premises. You could also sit through like open mics for a whole night with like a tally, like a bingo card. And you could just be like, all right, whatever gets the most, I'm never touching that topic.
Yeah. That's smart.
I kind of played like that for a little while, where I was like, I'm sick of hearing about this, because the audience of one fucking person and a bartender, you know what I mean? they, if you heard it 14 times, so did they. So they're not going to listen to it with any energy when you talk about it. That's why I hate like I'm stuck in like the gym. You know what I mean? The gym material. A lot of people come up and talk about gym material, and it's always just like nobody wants to listen to it. But it sucks because it's like, well, that's like 4 or 5 minutes of my club material. Not club level, but yes, club level. Like, I need that material because it works on normal people that paid for a comedy show. So it sucks to do it in the open mic circuit, but that's the only place you have to like tune it up before you're, on a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think we're all doing pretty good though, but I have no frame of reference. It's not like I was in comedy for 14 years and then came back to it. All my only frame of reference is everybody I get to talk to with the improv and in the scene and all the comics. Like, I try to meet and talk to and keep up with and message, from headliners to like, anybody that's got more wisdom than you and time in it than you. Try to learn from them, learn something.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's where my spectrum comes in. I'm just like, I need to learn everything and everything. And yeah, when I went through recently and looked at some of the first jokes that I wrote, and I'm just like, whew. And then I wrote, and then I try and rewrite them. But for me, it's like, those are the easy topics that are going to get a laugh. I always try to make this like kind of my thoughts, my perspective on what I think is funny, and try to bring that out to the audience. And I think that's the way to go, but who knows?
Yeah, that's I mean, that's what I don't know, like a lot of the greats, but like, so Dan, like me and you work at the Improv, but like we're kind of fortunate because we get to interact and kind of absorb from every level of comedian, of comic comedian, from first timers, the amount of first timers that I've seen, the amount of, because of going to so many open mics, to the amount of like 20, 25, 30 plus year veterans that come and to like do a weekend at a club, and literally watching their sets, watching them do, anywhere between 50 minutes to some people get up there and do like an hour and a half, which is crazy. And literally seeing that and everything in between, people that, features and headliners. And it's what you're seeing, like what one of the first things I noticed was like, from the first time someone gets on stage to their, 10,000th time, 20th, after 30 years, it's literally about people are wanting to hear your perspective and how funny how hard can you make these people laugh, envisioning what you've been seeing in your life. And the first time people get on stage, I can see it in people's eyes. Like, they get up there and like they'll try to say their jokes or whatever, realize they had a minute and a half of jokes that they wrote, and everyone else is just waiting. All right, those were, but what do you have to say? Like, and then they're like, oh shit, and they get off, and you talk to them, and they're just like, oh my god. Sometimes they're shaking. They don't know. They're like, that's crazy. They're like, I gotta write more. The people that really like it, one of the first things they'll say is like, I gotta write more. I gotta do it. And it's like, yeah. And they're realizing they're like trying to like, how do I sound? How do I think? A lot of people get in comedy don't realize that they're just now realizing how they think. A lot of people just find it kind of fun, just roll through life, you know what I'm saying? And they get up there and they realize they're saying all this shit, and they're like, oh,
I don't
damn.
feel like that.
Yeah, they're like, wait,
I
don't think that way. And they're like, and so then they start coming to themselves and they realize, oh, this is how I think. This is the person I am. And the moment that people accept that and truly embrace who they are, that's where the writing for them, they can like exactly what you said. But sometimes it takes years. Years.
I feel like I'm so far away from it.
Yeah.
I go out there.
Yeah.
I've been writing jokes for like it's almost like pseudo progress. I write jokes because I need the new jokes and because I need the jokes.
I'm trying to get reps.
But they're like I'm not really delving into the material I should be. That's gonna make me find my voice quicker.
Yeah.
I'm just writing jokes that got nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
It's just a setup, punch, and a tag. Because I'm like, well, cool. I need that 30 seconds to stack like 7 of those up. I did that set. Like last night, my sets, I'm just working through like all my good stuff that was hitting really hard. I didn't throw out, but I'm not doing them no more. So I like brought in all the weakest jokes. I'm like, I'm gonna work on all these weak ass jokes. I got like 15 of them. But it's like, 10 of those jokes ain't about shit. 10 of those jokes is just like set up, punch, and tags. It's not like, yo, this is about my perspective on something. It's just this is funny and I know it because it's like the mathematics of a joke. Mm-hmm. So like here you go. So it's hard getting to that. Yeah. How do you get the most out of your set? When do you what energy do y'all go into a set with, or what expectation do you have when you're trying to get on stage? I guess how I'm trying to say is like, what is a good set for you? What is progress? When do you get off feeling actually accomplished? Not that you just survived 5 minutes, 7 minutes. When do you get off stage and you're like, ooh, that was a level up? That was I just worked that out. Is it when a tag works? Is it when I feel like I'm only getting 20% out of 100% of a set. 20% real progress, 100%, 80% of it's like I just withstood my time up there.
Yeah. I don't know. Jordan?
For me, it's being able, recently I rewrote a joke and then incorporated it. Sorry. And I am going to have to take a break in like 5 minutes because I'm getting blown up. I redid it. I listened to it again because I either record or try to capture it on the video camera. And I'll go back. So being able to see the progress from that, rewriting that joke, and then seeing that, okay, that last joke, there was so much filling in it. I was able to cut it up and actually like get more precise. That for me is like one of those, like, I'm learning, I'm progressing. Like, okay, I don't need to say like or 12,000 times. I need to write the actual joke and memorize it to a point where I get comfortable instead of just being like, this is my random thought that just popped into my brain. Because I'll go on random tangents. Mm-hmm. So like, I'll just like follow. I'll go down the rabbit hole for sure.
Yeah.
Michael?
Oh, dude, I don't.
Every time you say the N-word less than 10 times is a win for you.
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know. What is a win for me? No, dude, I haven't been able to write that much recently. I don't know if a win for me, I guess, is if I think of something like before I go on stage and I'm like, oh, that, oh yeah, and then I go on stage and I say it and I get any kind of if I get laughs out and I know it's an actual laugh from that, I'm okay, I can build on that, I normally don't feel good. I mean, I don't feel good after most of my sets.
Yeah.
And some people like, dude, that was funny. They'll say this, and I'm just like, dude, don't patronize
people
me.
Hype you up.
Yeah,
it's not patronizing.
I feel I don't.
They seen it go better than you did. That's what what some of that is. Sometimes you can tell when it's fake. And you can tell when it's just the obligatory. Is that the word?
Obligatory.
The fist bump when you get off stage. That's just like respect from a comic to comic. Like, you did it. But yeah, it's how do you feel when people give you tags when you get off stage? Does it depend on the person?
It depends on the person, for sure. Like if
what if it's non-comic? How do you feel about the non-comics that try to give a tag?
I try to be respectful.
Yeah,
I try to be considerate because I mean sometimes you can get a good tag.
Dude, I listen to anybody that has anything. I mean, if they come respectfully to. I mean, the thing is, sometimes
If it's genuine,
yeah,
for sure.
sometimes
Yeah.
you get some drunk people and they'll, but like, yeah, most of the time I listen to anybody that's like, yo, you should do this, and you know, it depends on how I'm okay, what they're saying, and I'm like, okay, that, oh no, hell no, or like that's a good one. Most of the time, a comic gives me one. It's normally
It's a good one.
pretty. It's a
Jose,
pretty good.
Jose gave me a
Jose McCall.
I'll
yeah.
be right
Jose
back, guys.
McCall gave me a tag that allowed me to
Do you want us to pause?
do a better joke. Yeah, no, Jose gave me a tag and he's like, hey, you should, instead of using this word, use this word. And just by him helping me change that word, it changed what I wrote over the next 3 weeks on that joke. And that joke just hit really hard twice last night.
Yeah.
And Jose was in the room for one of them, the Late Show, at Lions Lair. Jose, so I thought about it as I drove home. I was like, I wonder if he heard me use the word covers. It's my Obama joke. And he's like, you know, because I used to say like, white people remix stuff, and he's like, no, white people do covers. That's funnier. And then from that, I was like, oh yeah, the next 3 tags now use the word cover instead. It's totally changed the joke, and the joke's way funnier. And it took a little joke and made it a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is good because you're like, ooh, the way I look at jokes is like, I like telling them. You know, sometimes I realize like, oh, I only like telling the first half of that joke. So I know there's something wrong with the second half of that joke. And that's the thing is like, he's given me a little bit more that I like. So it's like the stuff that I like to say is easier for me to remember. So I'm always remember the setup to that Obama joke. And now I can start playing until it feels the same way with the punchline. You know, that's when I'll like really learn my material is when it's fun to say all the way through.
Yeah.
Like when there's too much. It's hard for me to remember the extra. But when it's fun for me to say all the way through, and then I'm just saying it on, like autopilot, and I'm present in the moment to watch their reactions. That's what I'm trying to do up there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be thinking about the joke. You just want to tell the joke and then be able to play with their reaction. Like, that's the level I want to get to because that's what we see at the Improv with somebody who's really good. They already know their next 6 jokes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, almost in like a Jesselneck style where they're like, I'm going to make each one of these fucking jokes build up and just get progressively, you know, try to steamroll these laughs. That's the shit I like. I want to start seeing... I want people to get out of their seat by like the 5th, 6th joke because every one of them has been like building to it.
Yeah.
That's the way.
So you it's a snowball effect.
Yeah, and if I like to say the whole thing and I've memorized the whole thing, then I'm just really playing with you. It's gonna go whichever way your reaction takes this set. Let's say it can go like 10 different ways once you got the material. It's just a struggle to get the material. Let me ask you this. How much time you think you got? Tight. I mean, tight enough that if you had to go to the fucking Apollo, if you got called up and Capone's like, hey, homie, come do the Apollo, and you have to survive that show, that room, how much time you lasting before they boo your ass off stage?
See, the confidence in me knows like it's like I know I go up there and if once I get on a roll, if I got on a roll in a room like the Apollo, bro, I don't know, because like I haven't done a black room, dog. I've done I mean like
you've never done like a whole entirely black room.
No,
like
all the rooms I've done, I've been like
you got to go check out Randall's
to 100% white. But I mean, with those rooms, I feel.
Are you sure that ain't your market though?
With like 10, like my 10 is super tight. I've got 10s where like there's jokes I don't use, and you know I do 10. I've done multiple. I've been doing multiple 10s, but like I did 20 once, and that was like maybe 6 months ago when I was only maybe 6 months into comedy.
Yeah,
and I remember.
Where'd you do 20 at Hangover?
No, it was shout out Crawford, Anthony Crawford. It was
Oh,
Amuse Booze.
Ooh.
He gave me and Hannah Gray,
Nice.
shout out. It's my boo. Fucking
I'll be there in December.
hell yeah, bro. The Orchid or Amuse Booze?
No, Muse Booze.
Okay. Fucking
I got to reschedule with Hannah.
yeah.
I really want to do that show. Her lineups are good.
Yeah, bro, her lineups are amazing.
Yeah,
bro. She
they
puts
look
on
like
a dope
fun-
show, gets a
Fun
crowd in
ass
there,
shows,
bro.
dude.
K9s, Romero's, and the Orchid actually missed the first one.
I felt bad because I got offered a show, and I'm at this stage where like I don't want to turn away a single opportunity. But I got this job, and I know it's gonna be busy, and I know they're not gonna. It's just hard to get the time off that I thought.
Yeah,
So
that's why I'm.
but
anyway,
now
I'm not gonna talk about it.
no, but now it's like I don't want to turn down those opportunities,
No,
and
man.
it sucks because I understand from a booking standpoint, it might take a while for me to get back in her rotation.
Mhm.
And that's fair. That's how it goes. You're moving through the list like there's no negativity towards anything, but it's like damn. If anything, it's awesome. That show's gonna keep growing. You know, by the time if I get an opportunity to do it in the future, it's only gonna be keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I love it though. Now that they're starting to be like, hey, come do some time here. Come do some time here. Hey, I want you on this show. Hey, you free December 7th? You know, big opportunities are coming. Any room that I'm allowed to go do 10 minutes on or plus and get paid for it. That's the dream. I think we're way further along than we ever thought we would be in 2 years.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I didn't think I would make as much as I made this year, and it's under $1,000 all year
Nice.
long. But it's like I didn't think I was gonna pull for real checks from comedy clubs off this shit. 2 years, I was like, let's go.
That's insane.
It is crazy,
That's insane, dog.
and both those weekends went well. And I've 3E's really the only club that I've gone up at, but I did get paid by the Improv for Finesse Mitchell. Shout out Finesse.
Yeah, bro. I mean, bro,
Finesse the man, dude.
You've been putting in the work into the comedy, and that's the one thing. It's the one thing I can say about comedy is like it's when you put the time and the work into it and the effort, it's like it's seen and you get rewarded. You get rewarded. People see you out doing
it's not
mics
always
or whatever.
monetary
it's
either.
not always. It's just like it'd be like, hey man, come do a spot. Like being a year in and getting offered guest spots. Like
bro, by some of the people that do it.
Dude, it's
Martin Moreno,
bro.
I gotta run a show with Martin Moreno.
Hell yeah, dude.
Bro.
And
that's
Brian Sullivan was on that joint,
yeah,
and I think Josh Emerson was too.
yeah,
And I was like, dude, some of these lineups, some of the times where like I've gotten a guest spot and it's been like Sammy Hanser on the show or JJ or Darius Stinkins. It's so cool because they've been instrumental in the come up.
Heat right now.
Well, you know what I mean though. Like they've been instrumental in the come up, and then you get it like, you get the spot, and they're happy for you because they watched it happen organically. They watched like, oh, you weren't pandering for time on stage. You're doing it the right way. And the headliner's like, hey, I like your energy, kid. I want you to do 5 minutes. They see that, and then they like celebrate the win with you. And it feels like I already feel connected to a lot of these people. Like, oh, this is a long come up, and I'm glad that we're doing it together. I'm glad to see them win. Like, and some of them are winning, bro. Some of them are doing big things, and I'm like awestruck. Like, man, thank you for paving the way. Because I'm going to watch that shit, When I'm 4 or 5 years, I'm going to see some of the moves you made. I might make some of those moves myself. That's how comedy should be. Everybody bring each other up. Because, you'll dissolve out of this business after a while. You can survive for quite a while. Like, we see some people at our place of work where it's like they've been doing it a real long time, but they're really not in it.
Yeah.
Their soul ain't in it no more. They're just like playing the role.
Yeah.
And it's like you could kind of do that for a long time. But on the come up phase, I would imagine most of the people that aren't trying to like better their talent fizzle out You know, so like you might as well try to support everybody while you can, because they're either gonna make it or they're not. And if they don't make it,
it's gonna get motherfuckers.
yeah. But if they do make it, and then they call you and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna go do a show. I want you to come open the show, or I want to go on a little tour." You know, that's the goal. I got like my 5-year plan, and I got my 10-year plan, and my goal was to give like 10 years to it, and then reassess. And so far, like I'm checking boxes off that aren't even supposed to be in the second year box.
Nice.
So it's great.
Fuck yeah.
That's awesome. It's awesome that you guys are able to just surround yourself with so many comedians.
It's hard,
at the
though.
Improv.
It's like it's a give and take of everything.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find the time to really have a moment with those comics, because it's all business.
Mm-hmm.
It's a business, and they're a commodity, and the other side's a corporation. So somewhere in the middle of that, you have to be genuine in yourself in order to get genuine from them.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you find that, though, dude, they'll tell you what you need to know. Shout out Alonzo Bowden.
Man.
Alonzo took like 30 minutes with me. He's like, "Hey, this is what your next 15 years is going to look like."
That's awesome.
You know, Tony Rock's taking that time with me every time. Some more took time to tell me all about what I need to do with this material that's not material yet, you know? And some more's a joke writer. So it was to get these things and to pull these little pieces of information. I'm like, that is why I started in the club. I'm moving militantly, you know? I think a lot of people are like, I'm going to give this a shot. I've been in big business, you know, that oil field shit. There's a lot of money flying around. I was in charge of a lot of stuff towards the end of my career there. Way too much responsibility. So like I know what it's like when contracts matter, and I know how to. I saw a company go from like 6 mil to 10 mil, you know, over like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So it's like when you see that and you see the changes and the dedication and it's like, ooh, I don't want to spend 30 years becoming a headliner. If I could fast track that shit and do everything I'm supposed to do and take every advantage I can, you know, it's not all about who you know. It's like, who do you put yourself in the room with?
You're just fucking spitting wisdom out here, dude. I'm just like, I've just been taking all this in.
I'm talking too much.
No,
My
well,
listeners. I'm bad on podcasts, I feel.
I think you're great on
exactly.
Been on a
podcasts.
couple of them,
Exactly.
and I just talk too much.
Okay.
That's what's supposed to be.
Yeah, that is a podcast.
I got praised for that last night because the homie was like, he wanted me back on. He was like, dude, thank you, because I didn't clam up. I was open and talking, and he was like,
Yeah.
you actually talked and like you comfortable on the mic, and I was like, yeah. And so it was a good experience. Another can I plug in?
Yeah, dude. I was just about to ask what you're.
Yeah, the homie Chris. It's called the I Guess So podcast, IGS on YouTube.
I looked that channel up today.
wild.
I'm gonna go ahead and edit it and just black that part out because our competitors podcast. No,
Oh,
that's
no, they're
awesome,
bigger
dude.
than you.
No,
No.
Yeah. I seen the page today. They got thousands.
No. You guys are fucking
That's
nothing.
But I might be on that in a couple weeks.
Awesome.
Nakata said something. I like this one though. This is like my first official comedy podcast that I've ever been on.
Nice, dude. Well, thank you.
I've done a couple with other people that never seen the light of day.
It's
It's hard to make it happen, so kudos to y'all. Like I said, I listen and I like it.
well, dude. We appreciate those kind words. Yeah,
Thank you.
we're getting some momentum. I'm enjoying it, and I'm just like more or less just fascinated by everything you've been saying. Just like I can tell how good of a writer you are by how eloquent you talk about shit.
It's I appreciate that. Thank you.
So with that being said, like what's been the lowest moment of comedy for you?
Probably fucking Godfrey making me back out of a goddamn drive-through I'm already in.
Oh, okay.
I mean, late to a show. Wait a second. I probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, I was like, wait. No, we gotta edit it. No, we gotta edit that.
No.
Isn't he dead?
Pickett.
No.
Pickett. You're thinking of Gilbert. Dog.
Yes.
So,
The
watch
parrot from Aladdin.
Yeah,
I love Godfrey, bro.
I do too. And I think he's one of like, dude, he came and did 4 different hours. You know,
Damn.
that shit's amazing.
He's
But
legit, bro.
here's the thing: it's like I work with him now like 3 years in a row. I usually don't. I'm not the one that usually goes and picks him up, but I had to. I think 2 times in a row, 2 years in a row, and my car's just progressively gotten worse. I don't know if I ever cleaned it in between the first and the second time. And he opened the door and he's like, "Ugh, a little sticky, ain't it?" And I was like, "Listen, dude, we gotta go. You know, you're supposed to be on stage in like 15 minutes." And we're on the way. He's like, "Where's the Starbucks? Let's go to that Starbucks." And I'm like, I'm not even gonna argue. I'm like, let's just hope this is the fastest Starbucks in the world. And we pull into the drive-thru, and there's like 1 car in front of us. And I'm like, okay, we can survive this. This will be all right. And he's like, "Nah, it's a family. I don't wait behind families."
Oh my god.
He's like, "Just park and let's go in." And I'm like, "Park? We're in a fucking drive-thru. Like, there's no one behind us, but we're already in this drive-thru." So, yeah. We went inside, and then it was hilarious because on one corner of the room, like the people behind the counter did not move any quicker because we were inside, right?
Of course not.
And they
People go
they-
inside to
Yeah.
have slower service. That's why the drive-thru exists.
They still served the people in the drive-thru before they took his order at the counter. And so Godfrey's there getting pissed. I'm looking at my watch like, wow, he's supposed to be up in about fucking 3 minutes ago. Like, what the fuck? And he's waiting for this drink, and he's like, and I didn't get it for him. Like, you know, I'm not like a club representative with like a credit card.
Right.
So he's like, "I gotta get my own coffee." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't want nothing, so you're good." And people are like recognizing him at the coffee shop. They're like walking up. He's like, hey, how you doing? The fucking people behind the counter don't give a shit. It takes them so long to get them this little cup of coffee. You know, it's like the smallest size. So it's just, I remember being like, it was a great moment, but I'm like, damn, dude, I'm not presenting myself like I want to around these people.
Mhm.
And I'm forced into this awkward situation right now where he's going to be like, this fucking dude. You know, for 3 years, he's been this fucking dude.
Right.
And it's like, well, no, every time you see me, we're in this, like, I'm rushing. I'm having to get you in my busted ass car. Like, none of the alchemy fits. It's like, you don't think, but he's going to see me and he's going to, you know, he's got an opinion. At least he remembers
He's gonna
me.
Exactly.
busting your ass for his show, though. That's
I
the
hope
thing,
so,
man.
yeah.
And I feel like that's the energy you're putting out is the energy you're gonna receive. And it's like, yeah, you might be put in these situations to where it's like, dang, it's not the best situation for you. But if you keep on the right path, you know, keep putting in the work, they're gonna see you and they'll be like, yo, I remember when this motherfucker picked me up in a minivan.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to cuss him out and tell him, no, it's
shit.
a 2-man show.
I picked
you-
Ari Spears.
Did you? One quick
I picked him
question.
up in a minivan
Did
I was
you-
borrowing.
Did you
was
ask?
pissed,
Did you
bro.
ask either of them for gas money?
Nah, no. And I'm always on E.
Oh,
Half of them pointed out.
Can you imagine picking
Godfrey definitely points that shit out. You almost out of gas, huh? I'd be like, yeah.
hey,
Hey,
I'm
Godfrey-
Dan. I'm from the Improv. I'm here to pick you up.
I think.
Slide on in.
Yeah. Well, here's the other
You
thing:
imagine
is
picking
my
up Coco
handle.
Brown
My
and
door
you run
handle.
out of gas.
Hey. No. I gotta say this. Shout out Coco Brown.
Shout out Coco.
Coco Brown
She's
is
the
one of the
man.
best
She the best.
doing it, and she is respectful and loves me and remembered me, so it's all love. She got it. There's no judgment. You know, how you doing, baby? It's good to see you. Like, I love Coco Brown. She brought Big Vino this time. Big Vino was tight.
Yeah, he was cool.
I miss Cookie Hall. I hope she's doing all right. But yeah, dude, those are the low moments where I feel like, damn, I'm blowing it for somebody that I wanted to be cool in front of. I haven't.
You just gotta own it.
It's
Yeah,
like-
you know,
bro,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
just
It's like some embarrassing shit happening to you from your crush in like middle school or high school.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's the equivalent of that as an adult. Like
You're like, now I look like a fool, I'm trying to be cool. But I think those are the low moments for me, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Or where you're just like, the low moments where you're like, you're not funny.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, God damn, I know nothing that I'm accomplishing right now is funny or in the vein of funny. Now, how long can I withstand that until I'm funny again? Because I think it kind of comes and goes. You can't be funny all the time yet until you find out how to make everything funny.
Mm-hmm.
You're still going to be experiencing a lot of shit that you can't see in a funny way. You're like, damn, this sucks. Whatever that be, relationship, work, until you can finally like compartmentalize everything as a joke. It's tough. It's tough to get there.
Just gotta have more trauma,
Yeah, trauma's always good.
Yeah, trauma
Always
speeds
good.
up the process a little bit.
Trauma's tight. Trauma
Trauma's
is funny.
tight.
Yeah.
Dang. Oh no.
Yeah, everybody. I have 2 rules, and two ideas in my life. Everybody needs to serve food, not in the military. And fuck me. I just completely lost my train of thought.
Well, you had a crazy phone call. Is everything okay?
Yeah. I was trying to get this guy to buy, and like this order's been in process on since Friday. So it's just like it's herding cats, and it's just there's a lot of pressure from the top. So
What's next door?
What do you mean?
Is there a shitter next door? Do you hear that, Mike?
Oh yes. There is a.
Is that behind mine?
It's behind you. Yeah.
It's like there's a hallway though. It's a whole
Shitter's
hallway.
full, Clark.
Yeah, they.
There's no way. It's not right there.
Yeah, it is. I can hear someone taking a piss right now. Solid stream.
Oh, this guy needs
This is nice.
to see a
It
urologist.
goes well with the couch.
He's been up 4 days.
All right. So we're sitting like right around like 59
Sweet.
minutes.
All right. Dan,
Yeah.
what you got coming up?
Shows?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got November's looking light right now. When does this come out?
Tonight.
Oh, tight. Book me.
Yeah.
Book me for November, but chill on December. December 1st, I got Amuse Booze, Wide Ride 8:30.
Hell yeah.
December 7th, I'm hosting Comic Sense at the Hotel
yeah.
Boulderano.
Fuck
Very
yeah,
excited
dude.
to do that
Cool.
one.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but amazing things about that room and that
Is
that whole
produced by Dead Room
situation.
Comedy?
What's that? No.
Oh.
I think Stonic might take pictures of it, but it's not
Okay.
his room.
Okay.
But it's gonna be a really good time. Those are the 2 big ones that I'm prepping for right now. I had to turn down a couple. It sucks because I only had those 2 bookings in December, and then somebody I really look up to called me to try to pick me up for a couple shows, and I couldn't do it because it was on the same day. And he's like, well, I'm trying to get you on. You just, it sounds like you're doing well. And I'm like, no, those are literally the only 2 days you offered were the 2 days I'm booked all year. Like, it just, perception's a deadly component here.
I've had these books
Book
since
me.
March.
Yeah, for real. I'm like, dude, that sucks when that happens. But, those are the only 2 big ones I got coming up. Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm going to try and get on Roast Battle again soon.
Okay. Oh yeah, Mike, you did roast battle against Jeremy last week.
Ours is this Friday.
This
November
Friday.
10th.
Whoa,
hell
you
yeah.
against Neighbor House?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
The battle
Take
of
him
the
off
roommates.
his throne.
Yeah.
He beat me. Which
was
square and
wild.
fair.
Yeah.
No, he had good jokes. Jeremy's funny, dude.
Yeah.
And there was no fat on his final joke. And what's crazy about that roast battle was I had my jokes like written. I was like, okay, 1, 2, and 3. So they built momentum. So my third one was going to be like the hardest hitting one.
Mm-hmm.
But we went off, like we just started going back and forth, making fun of each other. So it threw the timing of everything off. And I ended up using my last joke. I did like we went to one more joke. And I just remember I forgot to tell my number 2 joke. And I told my number 2 joke, which wasn't as funny as my, number 3. and I had already done my like funniest joke, and then I hit him with my second funniest joke, and it didn't work. So I lost, and that sucked. I had to go buy coffee.
Oh, you
I've
guys.
been surviving off that coffee. If you win, you get like
Oh yeah, the
a
coffee, the
bag
bag
of
of coffee.
coffee, and
It's good
I just
coffee.
kept winning. I was like, "Yep." Every month, I told my girl, I was like, don't even go to Pablo's." I was like, just wait for roast battle. I'll come back with coffee. And I came back that night with not shit. A fat loss.
Fat loss, hurt
Lost my
pride
undefeated streak.
to a clown.
But shout out to roast battle.
Shout out.
Yeah, dude,
That shit
roast
is
battle's
cool.
great.
And it's only gonna get better.
Sweet. All right, well, yeah, we can wrap this shit up right now. We're sitting at a solid hour if you guys are good with it.
I don't care.
Sweet.
I think, yeah.
Wait, no. What?
But you got any segments or anything?
Any
You just-
segments?
Yeah, do we want
Well,
to?
yeah, I mean,
Did you want to bring up anything? Is there a topic that we should discuss? Here we go.
No. No. Shit. I like my brain is like
Yeah,
not connecting right now.
Would you have a late night?
No.
No, you just
No.
got kids.
Just got kids. Just single dad in life right now because
Nice.
the wife gets back on Thursday.
Hey,
and
where
I-
are your kids right now in the car?
Yeah,
you
I got
crack
the
the
AC
window?
running. Yeah,
All
it's
right.
good. It's a
Yeah.
nice day out. No, they're in school.
Nice.
Just DPS. Don't come to my house. Yeah, and then Friday I fly out to Atlanta. My little sister is getting officially married. She's marrying some French dude. He's a good guy. But they're getting married in France next year. So they're having like their American ceremony. So yeah, I'm going to be in Atlanta from Friday to Monday, and then
Hell yeah, bro.
yeah. Oh,
What do you got coming up? Just long table?
Just long table, 11:16. I'll probably get on Grayson's show here.
Hey, I heard that show was fire.
It was fucking
Yeah.
great. The energy was awesome.
Hell yeah. He'd be
everyone-
he'd be a great producer. He's got good energy.
He is, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
he's
could
a
set
good
up
host too.
Set up a room pretty well.
No, actually, so my kid is turning 5 in January, and he's got a lot of questions. And he asked me the other day. He was talking about like God. He's like, "Dad, does God make the trees?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." He's like, "Does God make the construction building that the trees come from?" I'm like, "Well, no. He makes people that make that." And he goes, "Okay." Like it's all clicking. He goes, "Dad, is God dead?" Yeah, that was about my reaction. Was this dude is just asking some questions that I
Some heavy stuff.
like. My first reaction was like, obviously, but no, I was like, okay, I don't need to traumatize him yet.
Well, yeah, I think the best.
I was just like, God is above existing.
No, you should just lie to him.
Yeah.
Lie
I
to the
did.
kid until they
I
can
did. I said
handle the truth.
God is above
That's
existing.
how we came up.
Oh, whoa.
Lie to the kid. What'd you say?
We'll play it back. No, dude, that's the best way to grow up. You know, I try to yes and my kids a lot.
You should.
And-
If I have a kid, I'm gonna tell him like, no, Jesus just gets reincarnated, and then I'm gonna pick my favorite person and say that's Jesus right there.
Nice.
Yeah. So who would your Jesus be right now?
Bill Hader.
Hey, I like that.
That was the first
Yeah.
guy that popped in my mind. You'd be
Bill
a good
Hader
Jesus. I don't
is
know.
Your Jesus. Okay.
Betty.
How about you, Mike?
Lauren Hill.
What?
Whoa.
Kind of look like her. No,
No,
What?
I don't know. It's weird.
Lauren Hill. The Fijis. Do you think they're gonna drop a new album?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. If they do, they do. But I mean, are they? They're not actually back together. Are they like back
They're
together?
doing
back
that tour together. Yeah.
I mean, they're doing the tour, but it's no new music, is it?
I think. Well, why would you start a whole tour? Are they just gonna tour off one album
I don't know.
that they have already toured on for a long ass time?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But when
I
you
like
when
Go
you
to the
have
Friend right now.
when you have that one banger, you just
Yeah.
you gotta milk it.
I like Coda the Friend right now.
Go to the Friend is good.
I think
He's a great rapper.
underrated.
Yeah.
I think he's a little underrated.
Definitely bars.
Discography alone, he's got like. I like albums on albums on albums, and I like when you could see them change. They're pissed off for that album. They're partying for this album. I like that in an artist. I like it to go up and down. And then I like to see a big fall. I like to see people get real big and then fuck it all up, and then get good again.
So you're just waiting for Kanye to.
I never listened to
No.
no Kanye. No, I didn't come up listening to all like not much of the mainstream anything. I liked this guy.
Oh yeah, you big Tech 9 fan.
Yeah, and not so much anymore, but you can still go back and listen to. He's got some Untouchable music.
Yeah.
Untouchable, KOD, that album's fire. Slacker,
Yeah.
all his old stuff is really good. But
He's
I'm
more
behind on
advanced,
him
man.
like 5-6 albums. Last album I listened to his was like all 6s and 7s or something like that.
Damn.
It was a long time ago.
Oh, speaking of like great artists, Creed is touring with Finger
Yeah, you
11.
gonna go to that? You look like you got VIP backstage access.
Yeah, me and Scott
You
texted
groupie?
him immediately. I was like, why didn't you tell me you were in
Yeah.
town?
Finger 11. I don't know what it is about those guys, but I want to dissolve them in acid.
Just for one thing.
That Paralyzer song was played way too much.
Oh, yes, it was.
Do y'all remember Switchfoot?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I have...
No, what was there?
What's
there?
Dare you to move.
Man, I don't.
You would remember Switchfoot?
No.
Were
I was
they
just
Christian
about to,
rock.
They
Like,
were, but they were in the same kind of like vein as Creed, which is like they're quote unquote Christian, but they're not gonna
Creed
say they're
with it,
Christian,
yeah.
but they're
Creed-
just gonna let the Christian people be like, oh yeah, my son can listen to this.
Yeah,
This is
Creed-
good
I was just about to say,
messaging."
Creed is the CD your mom will buy you when she's like, she knows you're going through your hard rock phase.
Oh yeah. My hard rock
Yeah.
phase was Incubus.
Ugh.
You
See,
don't
I
like-
hated all those groups. I liked music everybody hated, though. I liked the emo stuff. I liked
Like-
old Fall Out Boy, Panic
Yeah,
at the
dude.
Disco.
Yeah. Old Fall Out
Chiodos.
Boy was Chiodos, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
I liked the whiny stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also went through a very
2006. Paramore,
angsty-
before Paramore got big, I seen them in Denver. Oof.
no,
I still
Paramore
love
is-
her.
That's
Dude, she
universal.
yeah,
Yeah,
she puts
now-
out some bangers. Well,
Those first CDs weren't fucked with like that until way, way late. I don't even know when they blew up. It's probably Misery Business, though, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I mean, that was what, second album?
That was second album, but
this is
even in my high school, it was like I watched like the grassroots build, and I'm not saying it started in Broomfield, but you know what I mean. Like when you seen like 4 kids like it, next year like 30 kids liked it. You know, next year y'all went to a concert, there was like 50 of you, and then it was cool to see it do that.
I think.
Same with A Day to Remember.
Ooh, yeah.
They started, and I remember their first album, there were other groups that had better shit out. And their first album, I remember listening to it, and I was like, that's pretty cool, but I didn't even see the potential in that band until they kept dropping music, and then I was like, hey, and then, you know, they're great. All those groups are cool. I still listen to all that old stuff.
Oh yeah, one of my daily mixes on Spotify is just my angsty teenage playlist.
You remember Atreyu? I think they were here. I
Atreyu?
think they're
Yeah.
from Denver.
Yeah, Morris Rayo.
I think they were Denver's own.
I know they're from Denver.
I really wanted to go to this concert a couple months ago, but Mars Volta, they were here.
Yeah,
I think they played
Phil
at
Cano
Mission.
went to that.
Oh,
He came into fucking Lions Lair
Yeah.
looking like he just went to a Red Rock show.
right.
That
You
was
could
at
always
Mission.
tell.
It was at Mission.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. Dude, Mission. has
Indoor
some
Red
great
Rocks.
shows,
Dude,
bro.
Mission is my favorite
Mission is
venue
great.
because I can sit down and and watch the show. I'm not.
Dad Rock.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's like everybody.
Rest in
everybody at,
peace, Jimmy Buffett.
Oh man.
Red Rocks. They have the
Oh.
1965. It's a Beatles tribute band. Everybody sat down. This is the only concert I've seen everybody sitting down for at Red Rocks. Just a bunch of old people clapping.
Yeah, they can't. They just hiked up a half a mountain. They're
Yeah.
like, I gotta sit
It
for
was
this.
wild. The
I
whole
have
show,
to sit for Yellow Submarine,
Nobody
honey.
stood up. Even at like the Led Zeppelin trip or no, what's the Pink Floyd one? Brit Floyd.
Oh,
I've seen them at Red Rocks. They're phenomenal. People that still felt like a concert, but that Beatles show, everybody's sitting down.
I wanna do a cover band.
Yeah.
Where we cover like rap songs, but we sing it in the voice of the B-52s.
What's the voice of the B-52s?
Love Shack.
Love Shack.
At the Love Shack, baby.
Oh,
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, I sent Mike a wonderful little video, and he said, please don't ever do that again. So naturally, here I am. I'm just doubling down on life.
Mike, where did you get that fucking necklace?
These
this
anal
one,
beads.
This,
Yeah. How about you
this
describe
was
it for the
gifted-
audience
it's-
real quick?
This was gifted to me from another comic.
They are. It is a.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Wait, who?
he made it. Will Snyder. He's really cool. He's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
For real.
He's a fucking park ranger, dude.
I know.
On the front lines. Of
Yeah,
fucking,
and he's like in a
This
dangerous
homeless,
park.
right?
like for real, dude.
Yeah, I was talking to him.
Like he got
He's like in
Bro, we gotta
uptown.
get him on.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah. 100%.
Civic Park,
I'm gonna type it in.
something like that.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, do you guys have a guy at the computer who's doing your?
We don't
Are you
do.
looking for a producer?
We are actually.
What does the producer got to do?
Just record the audio.
Bleep the N word when you slip up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you let him.
You know how many times we've had to bleep that out?
Yeah, oh, I've heard
Zero.
it. I said I listened to all the episodes.
You didn't listen
You
to the
should've
stuff
bleeped
that I
out a lot of it.
trashed.
Should've beat that a lot.
All of it.
No, they were pretty good. Not bad.
What'd you ask?
Who's the producer? Yeah.
What does the producer have to do?
Does the producer get paid, or is it free until you're popping?
It's free until we're popping. It's one of those. We're here for the
I'll
ride.
be your guy at the desk for a little while.
Okay.
I'll fill in.
You'll have to fact
I'd like
check
to
us.
learn how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll do I get you, Jamie.
Yeah, young Jamie. Just lost
Jamie,
half of
bring
our
that up.
listeners
You
because
guys able to plug
of the
into
Rogan
that or what?
reference.
Yeah,
We
should.
can.
haven't tried.
There's a TV on the wall, folks.
There's a nice TV on the wall, and then right here,
is a nice
that
little
is a
room.
green screen that you can pull down on the,
Yeah.
as a projector, and then the lights actually do work somehow. I've got to figure that out.
Somebody's phone, I bet.
Yeah,
That's a nice little area. Thank you, gentlemen, for
yeah,
having me.
dude. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for telling us a little bit about your story, and like I said, it's fascinating, man. And I'm really happy I met you. I'm really happy that am able to still learn from you and all that shit. And dude, you're awesome. So thanks for coming out.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right.
Ooh, follow my Instagram.
Yeah. Plug your Instagram.
All right, it's 52AD, spelled out FIFTYTWOAD. 5280.
That's a reference to the altitude of Denver, correct?
Yeah,
Because it is known as the Mile High City, correct?
5280, baby.
All right. So does it count if you have sex in Denver? Then you join the Mile High Club?
No, that's something different. That's an airplane.
Come on, bro.
But I mean, from a literal sense,
No, if
you are a
in
mile
the
high.
sky from the land.
We're a mile above sea
Come
level.
on, bro.
Why are you making
This
all
is
these
the sea
rules?
level, dog.
Why are you trying to put me in a
That's
box?
cheating, bro.
You part of the Mile High Club?
Yeah, I live in Denver.
Oh,
my God.
yeah, that's why. You got farmer's market energy, dude.
I know. Come buy my CBD at the farmer's market. No, but seriously.
Hey, don't be laughing that hard. You got fucking Crocs on right now.
Damn right. The comfortable, most comfortable motherfucker
Yeah.
in here.
Are you selling peach jelly after this or what?
Preserves.
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 Yeah.
Nah.
Oh, y'all are both Southern. Do you guys, Georgia and Alabama, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. This ain't a rivalry. Like
no, bro,
college.
we've been spanking that ass forever, bro. They got a few years. It's cool, it's cute, but we all know who the real
What are you, Bulldogs
big
fan?
dogs are.
Go Dogs! I'm sorry.
And you're a Roll Tide fan?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he likes to play. He likes to be like, oh, we've been smacking that ass for so long. Like history matters. What are you doing now, huh? Oh, you're losing to
Teach
Texas,
those
bitch.
Bulldogs to behave.
What's that?
What? I was just singing my fight song.
Nobody knows.
You would
those
know the fucking
songs,
fight song, yeah.
Yeah, dog, what's wrong?
See
I-
you.
I thought the fight song was
Actually
just
care.
Sco Buffs.
gonna find my cousin, gonna hold her tight.
Whoa.
Excuse me?
That's what the theme. I
Is
thought
that
that's what the college song was for Alabama.
I've
Yeah.
never heard that for my life.
No. Gross.
That's gross.
Do you go to church,
Check
Jordan?
yourself.
Yes and no.
No.
We
Why don't you just have the church tell your kid what to believe? That's usually what most people do.
yeah, because I don't want them to grow up like me. So if I tell them all the stuff that I believe now, then
I came
they'll
up in the
just be
church.
many
There ain't nothing wrong
versions.
with me. I came up in the church. I got a good, well-rounded head on my shoulders, don't I?
It is very
Hella
round.
well-rounded.
It's very
Yeah,
round. Like it's
round.
almost proportionally perfectly round.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like it's expanding at this moment.
No, there's good things about the church,
About to
but
pop.
you know, just in general, I just feel
I like the church, bro. Where
I like the
else are you gonna
idea.
find a potluck that's got Jello with carrots in it?
Oh my god! All right.
You get a
Well, this has
trust
been a
me.
good
Gladys.
episode.
I brought.
We're talking about church and Jello.
Yeah,
Hey, brother,
Jello
Uh,
shots.
you need some church
Yeah.
and
you're
less
right.
Jello.
I
You're
feel like
right.
I just went to church. I feel like you just churched us.
Yeah, you just search this. In
Cool. Well,
comedy.
here's the collection plate. Hold on.
That's my cash
Pass
app.
this around a couple times.
Um,
In the year of our Lord.
at school today when I was dropping the kids off, one of my kids' teachers comes up with a flyer and it just says pennies for veterans, and I'm like,
Oh, jeez.
pennies? Like 1 cent? It's like 6 cents can help a veteran. I'm like, are we really bottom of the barrel here? Like, oh, I don't know. I don't have 6 pennies. But veteran suicide is actually a really huge issue. We
It
need to
is.
do something
Shout out veterans.
about it.
Send
You get
love
these
if
homeless
if
people
you're out there.
the
and
the attention and medical care they need.
Yeah, if you got anybody in your family that's a veteran, send love to them. You know,
Check on them.
yeah, check on them. Just say what's up.
Check
you
on
know.
them.
And then ask if you can be on their USAA.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, you know, I always like to end on a banger like that. So, Dan, thanks again for coming, dude. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you, man. Really excited to see all the big things that you're going to be doing here in the next couple years. And thanks for listening, y'all, to the Bush League podcast.
Oh yeah.
I'm Jordan Ward,
I'm Big Mike. Catch me on Instagram at black_Hagrid, all lowercase.
and I'm Jordan Ward 32, something like that. You'll find me.
Oh yeah.
Follow Mike to
Book
find
us.
me.
Book me.
Book us.
Book me
Book us.
too.
Book,
We're gonna do a live podcast at Wide Right. No. All right.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Peace. No,
Cool.
I mean it's a little, you know.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, enough talk about strippers and buttholes, because we're gonna be talking about buttholes
And strippers.
and strippers with our guest host today. Fuck me. Let's restart.
Hey,
This is
come on, dude. What
dude.
the
This
fuck?
I don't. I'm
That's that. You know what that is?
what?
Bush League.
Oh, that makes sense.